Order filled.
What's going on? It's your boy Polo Evolve. I'm back with another video. I'm gonna start this one off with a trade recap for the day. As you guys can see on the screen, I have made about $772 today, which is not bad. This is my fourth profitable day on this funded account. For those of you that have not watched my other videos, you guys should know that I have been funded about 3 times with Top Step in the last 30 days, and I have blown the first 2, being an absolute degenerate. And with that being said, this is my third one, and I've never really received a payout from. I have not received a payout all 2025. So let's get that straight. In 2024, I actually received a payout with a Forex prop firm called Funding Pips. I got about like 5-6K, not too bad, but I've never been able to recreate that. And essentially now I'm trying to recreate that. Yes, at this point I am up 4 profitable days, $772. I'm gonna walk you guys through the trade that the trades that I took today. Now I'm gonna start off with gold. So with gold, there was CPI today, so it's big news at 8 o'clock. I opted to kind of stay out of that one. But in this sense, what ended up happening was I actually ended up taking some buys around here. I don't have it marked up, but I took some buys around here. I got a quick little W, and then I tried to take another buy over here, assuming that it was going to continue going up with the the bullish momentum from CPI. But in this case, it didn't, and I ended up taking it out. So I took 2 trades, and normally I should get off, but my dumbass, I guess, I didn't stick to the plan today. Even though I ended up with the $772 day, it wasn't the greatest day because I didn't stick to my plan. And it's very important that I do stick to my plan, and it's very important that all of us stick to our plan, right? Because that's how you stay in the game for the long term. When it comes down to trading or anything really, you want to stick to the plan. But anyway, I digress. I'm gonna show you guys the rest of the trades anyway. So I took 2 trades there, and then here with NQ, I ended up taking a buy around essentially at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. right before market open. I assumed it was gonna go up, and luckily I was able to cash out here. And then I took another. Once this started to break its low, I ended up taking the sell as well. And this one was crazy because, bro, this one could have been a loss very easily had price not literally ticked my TP. And then, yeah, that's basically it. Because if you see this like straight rejection afterwards, and I don't know why I took the sell. I mean, again, this is probably over trading at its finest. So these are the type of days that I actually need to avoid moving forward, because yes, I did end up with some profit, but at the end of the day, I did not follow my plan. It's very crucial that I should follow my plan moving forward. But I'm not going to let it ruin my day. We're going to simply take this as a learning lesson, and we're going to keep moving forward. I'm going to show you guys my profits, or my daily P&L, weekly P&L actually. So you guys see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all profitable days, 4 profitable days. We got about 1738. Shout out Fetty Wap. 1738. Yep, we got that going on. That's about. So really, I just want to make one more profitable day, right? Maybe $200 more just to hit the minimum. Take some money out, because again, I've never gotten a payout all 2025. So this would be a great way to end the year. And yes, it's not going to be that much. It's probably going to be like $1,000 payout, man. But at the end of the day, listen, that doesn't matter. We're going to take this small win, right? We're going to roll it back. We're going to reinvest into more XFAs. We're going to get funded 4 more times. So we have a total of 5 funded. And if I'm able to do this with 5 fundeds, now that becomes a 5K week rather than a 1K week. And that's how very quickly we can scale this up, right? So right now, I just want to get a payout, prove to myself that I can do it, build that confidence, and then reinvest with my own confidence back into the funnel, right? Back into the funnel. And yeah, that's essentially what it is. Again, in this game, we want to aim to get singles and doubles, right? Yes, it's nice to get home runs here and there, but if you are always aiming for a home run, your percentage of success when it comes to getting home runs is going to be very, very small rather than if you were just trying to get singles and doubles, because singles and doubles are basically baby food, right? I know this is a baseball terminology, it's baseball analogy, but at the end of the day, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Singles is just baby food. It's like getting that 10 points, 20 points on NQ, or pips, whatever you want to call it. Anyone can do that day in and day out. If you can you do that over and over again, awesome. That's great. Because if you can, guess what that leads to? That leads to the home run eventually, right? But if you keep trying to get the home run, the 1 to 10 RR trade, brother, you're gonna end up blowing your shit. And psychologically, it doesn't really work well with my style of trading, or just myself in general. I cannot fathom, or I can't even like stomach losing so many times. Even if I were to win a 1 to 10 RR trade, having to lose as many trades to get to that one to with that one home run, that shit would just make me go insane, man. So yeah, that's about it for the trade recap, boys. Listen, just one more day. We gotta get it going.
Shot is on the beat, baby.
Okay. All right, what's going on, everybody? I just finished up at the gym. Just did a quick, not a quick, yeah, I guess it's a fairly quick leg day at the gym. You guys will see it in my trade recap, but I essentially had a $700 day, but didn't necessarily follow my rules. So I wouldn't say it's a good trading day, but nonetheless, I have 4 profitable days on this funded account. And if you guys don't know, this is my 3rd time being funded within the last 30 days. First 2 fundeds, I traded like a degenerate and ended up blowing the accounts. And this 3rd one, well, it's my 4th profitable day. I need 1 more profitable day of $150 or more, or like $200 or more, and then I can get a payout. And that would be my first payout in like a year and a half. Last year, 2024, I got like a $5,000 payout from a Forex prop firm funding pips. But after that, I wasn't able to replicate the process. I kind of just lost myself. And one of the things that I've realized is like a whole year and a half has passed, and I haven't really been able to progress forward in terms of my trading journey. I would say in terms of like mentally and physically and a lot of other areas in life, I have progressed forward. But at the same time, I'm very locked in on this trading journey. I want to make day trading a viable source of income for myself so I could unlock that time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of been a struggle, like it is for a lot of people probably watching this video. Nonetheless, man, like I feel good at this point, because even though a lot of time has passed and it felt like I wasn't really going anywhere, I realized that I was trying to rush the process throughout the entire time. For the last year and a half, I've been trying to rush the process. And that is why I've been taking 2 steps forward, but then I'll take like 3 steps backward. And I'll take 2 steps forward and then 1 step backward. I'm like a hamster on a wheel, essentially, just running in the same spot. It wasn't until I realized that I was the one that was self-sabotaging myself with my external habits, right? Because I would lock in like 90% of the time. I'd do everything right. I would do, I check off all the things on my to-do list, but then there would be those 1 or 2 things where I'm just not following through with the plan. And those were the most detrimental to my success. So when you get to a certain level of trying to level up or, trying to progress in life, you realize that what it comes down to is you need to make small refinements as you go in order to overall improve your progression. When you're first beginning in your self-improvement journey, or whatever kind of change you make in a positive direction is going to be a giant leap forward, because, it's going to be much different from the way that you were living before. But after you've kind of found your footing and found your grounding in your self-improvement journey, you'll realize that in order to get to the next step, it all comes down to those very small refinements. And once you can figure those out for yourself, you just got to make the implementations and just keep moving forward. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about is time. Everyone believes that they have all this time in the world, I know too many people that have lost their lives at a young age and they no longer get to walk this earth with us. Whenever I think about these people that I once knew, rest in peace to those guys, by the way, it makes me wonder, did they achieve the things that they set out to achieve? You know, what, and anyway, this could get super deep, but what I'm trying to say is one day they were here and the next day they're gone. And bro, that's it. Their life is cut short. And I'm not sure, to each their own, but you have to think about it for yourself. Have you accomplished what you have set out to do for yourself and for your loved ones? Right? Because at the end of the day, you could wake up today, you could go to sleep, but you might not wake up tomorrow. Life is not guaranteed. So although you want to live in abundance and you don't want to rush the process, at the same time, I want to instill in you guys that time is very important, and it's very crucial that you do not waste time, because you're going to go throughout life thinking that you have all this time, but one day you're going to wake up and you're going to lose someone that's close to you. And then you're going to realize how short life actually really is. You know, I guess I'm sort of blessed to have had experienced that when I was young, because that allowed me to put things into perspective about how life really is. Because if you've also walked through life and you've never experienced any sort of pain, any sort of adversity, you've never lost anyone close to you, then you're gonna walk through life thinking shit's sweet. But you know, shit ain't sweet all the time. And I don't want to sound like a pessimist, but at the same time, you want to be a realist. One day you're here, one day you're not. And that's just how it goes. And yes, you want to live in abundance when it comes to life, but at the same time, time is scarce. Do not waste time. You guys need to take your life seriously. The actions that you do on a daily basis are very important. And if you don't take your life seriously, brother, one day you're going to wake up when you're 40, 50, 60 years old, and you're going to look back and think like, fuck, I wasted my fucking life. I don't want that to be you guys. Take control of your life right now. If you guys don't like the direction that you're going in life right now, what makes you think that if you keep doing the same things, that anything's going to change? You need to make those necessary sacrifices in order for your life to change. That's the only way. If you guys have ever played a video game, you guys know what a health bar looks like, a stamina bar. It's all the same shit. Willpower is essentially the same thing. You will start off with 100% willpower at the beginning of your day, and you'll do a bunch of tasks that will basically decrease your bar as you go through the day, eventually reaching 0 at the end of the day. The more tasks that your character does in the video game, the stamina bar will decrease and eventually replenish itself as long as the player has had enough time to rest and recover. Willpower is basically the same. You start off the day with 100% willpower energy, and by the end of the day, it reaches 0. And the tasks that you do in between that are up to you. So here I have a diagram of person A and person B. Person A is, I'm gonna call him Drifter. Drifter starts off with 100% willpower. When they wake up, they immediately hop on their phone and they start doom scrolling for about 10 to 15 minutes. They waste 10% of their willpower on that at the beginning of their day. So they went from 100 to 90% in the first 15 minutes, and all they did was doom scroll, you know, maybe catch up on some memes. And after that, they'll go to their 9 to 5, and that is about 50% of their willpower gone to the 95. So on the drive home, Drifter has convinced himself, okay, I'm gonna reward myself for the productive day that I've had so far. And what will they do when they go home? They will partake in degenerate activities, as I like to say. They will binge watch entertainment. That's 10% gone. They will smoke and they'll drink. That's another 10% gone. They'll order Uber Eats, DoorDash, maybe eat some junk food. That's another 10% gone. And then they will finish the day off the same way they started it, which is by doom scrolling. Yes, they will doom scroll themselves to sleep, and most likely they'll end up going to sleep fairly late. So they'll wake up the next day tired, groggy, and they'll wonder why they're stuck in the same situation. Well, if they actually looked at the activities that they were doing, they'd realize that they spent all their willpower doing degenerate shit. Yes, they went and did their 9 to 5. That's great. They can pay their bills at the end of the month. But guess what? Past that, there's not much that has helped them move the needle. There's not much that they've done that will better their situation month to month, year to year, day to day, whatever way you look at it. In fact, the activities that they do after work and before work are actually making their lives incrementally worse rather than incrementally improving them year on year. I used to be like person A not too long ago, but I had that realization moment which turned me into person B, which we're gonna call them Evo, short for evolution, not the car. Now, Evo, he starts off with 100% willpower as well. Instead of doom scrolling right away, he actually partakes in a productive morning routine. Now, personally, I will stretch, meditate, pray, drink a whole bunch of water in my morning routine. That will take me about 30 minutes, and then I will hop on my phone and catch up on my notifications, you know, look at some memes, whatever. In this case, Evo wants to get the gym out of the way because they consider it hard. They haven't necessarily developed that as a habit yet. So for them, going to the gym before work is actually very beneficial. Why? Because they still have 90% willpower left in their tank. Because they have 90% willpower left in their tank, going to the gym isn't such a crazy task. Rather than person A, for example, they scrolled, they went to their 9 to 5, that's already 60% gone. If they wanted to go to the gym and spend 20% willpower, they could, but because they already have 60% gone and they only have 40% willpower left, it becomes a much more daunting task to them because they don't have as much energy. So person B will actually go to the gym, get it out the way, then they will go to their 9 to 5, get their 8 hours in, you know, be able to pay their bills for the month. But they also understand that in order to change their situation, they need to make some sacrifices. And that sacrifice is, instead of binge watching entertainment, ordering Uber Eats, smoking and drinking, they will go work on their side hustle. They'll do that for a couple of hours after their 9 to 5. Yes, they don't want to do it, but at the same time, they understand if they make this sacrifice right now, eventually they'll be able to drop their 9 to 5 in the future, have much more time back to themselves, but it requires this sacrifice in the beginning stages. And person B is not necessarily a robot as well. So now person B has 10% left and they can spend that doing whatever. If they want to spend time with their family, their friends, their girl, they want to binge watch entertainment, they want to smoke and drink, sure, whatever. Because at the end of the day, they were hella productive throughout the day and they still got 10% left over to do whatever they want to do. Now, a lot of you may be looking at this and thinking, damn, like, bro, this kind of sounds pretty extreme. I don't know if I could do this myself. I want you guys to understand that the game is just getting harder and harder year by year. And guess what? It is not going to get any easier, bro. No one is going to come and save you. No one is going to change your life unless you want to actually change your life. There's no way that it's going to change. You have to think about the game like this. Back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, the meta for the NBA was essentially be as physical as possible, drive to the hoop, body your way into the paint, dunk, layup, whatever you need to do. Now the game has changed. The game is different. Now everyone's shooting threes, and it's gotten to the point where some 7-foot center is greening threes. He's greening threes. Why? Because he understood that the game has changed and he needs to make some adjustments. The people that did not make the adjustments in the NBA, well, guess what? They're pretty much useless. The game has changed and they're being left behind. So don't let that be you. Make those necessary sacrifices, change your life. I know it's going to be hard, but at the end of the day, being average, hating the life that you actually live is harder than whatever sacrifices you have to make being person B. All right? Peace, boys.